Today we will work on the patterns which are restricting wealth. First, few basic things. Wealth is not something outside from you. It is extension of what is you. Please understand. You go on accumulating something in your life. If you are conscious, organized, you accumulate wealth. Otherwise, you accumulate poverty. But you go on accumulating something. Please understand, you cannot be in between. You can't say, no, neither I am progressing, nor I am losing. No. Either you are progressing or you are losing. Means, either you accumulate wealth or you accumulate poverty. Accumulation is your life. Wealth is not something outside you, it is extension of you. What you feel about life, what you feel about you, all these ideas only decide whether wealth is going to be around you or not. People usually ask me, why is Swami teaching about wealth to us? Who else you think should teach? Only a Swami can teach. I tell you, because your concepts about you plays a major role whether you are going to have wealth or not. There are so many researches. I can quote one research to give you an example. Ohio State University Sociology Department has done how a religious beliefs of person directly affects his wealth, accumulation of wealth. The results of the survey are really shocking. I'll give you some of the basic things. Jews, 35% of Jews accumulate assets such as home, stock, bonds in a very young age. But only 3% of Protestants accumulate. There are so many things. The asset poor, Jews are only 1%, but Protestants are 15%. Some 20 details. Average income of a Jew is 4 times more than an average income of a Catholic or a Protestant. All these are really shocking. When you dig deep, the belief system you have about you plays a major role in your hard working, creativity, saving and all that. One more thing, unfortunately this university has not done study on Hindus, on India, whether on India or even in the US Hindus they have not done study. I want all of you to know, Hindus in US are the richest ethnic group, richer than Jews. Richer than Jews, please understand. 10% of the US tax is paid by 1% of Indians. Indian population, Hindu population in US is only 1% of US population. But the America's 10% tax is paid by Hindus. Richest ethnic community. Why do you think? The whole US medicine field is in the hands of Venkateshwara. The whole hospitality industry is in the hands of Swaminarayan. Means hotel, motel, patel. And all doctors, you should know that whole medical industry in US is in the hands of Telugus, Andhra people. Not just doctors, doctor number is very small only, but the pharmaceutical companies, we have two major beliefs. which makes us constantly save, save, save. One, you need to leave wealth for your generations. Only then they will give you Shraddha. After you die, only then you will live happily in the Pitruloka. Please understand, a normal American, if you talk to an average American, he will tell, my last check should bounce. Only we have the concept of leaving wealth for the next generation. But here if you see, and one more thing, during this global recession, 9 out of 10 Americans, means 90% of Americans were in depression. Please understand, needed to be clinically treated because of the global recession. In India, 7 out of 10, 70% of Indians do not even know something called global recession is going on, because we have a 3-tier economy. Only 1 tier is known to government. Really, we have 3-tier economy. 1 tier only is accounted economy of India. All accounted, unaccounted, whatever the prediction you have about unaccounted, everything is only 1 tier. The 2nd tier is the cash which flows with men, which is unaccounted. In real estate, so many business. 3rd is the women, who has money which is in the hands of women, gold money which is in the hands of women, not even known to husband. He doesn't, even husband doesn't know. Where is the government to know? We have a 3-tier economy. That is why the global recession could not touch India. Because all recession can happen only in 1 tier. This 2 tier is completely unaccounted. Anyhow, I can give you so many insights on how belief system directly affects the way you live as rich or poor. Now, basically I want you to understand, if you are not attracting wealth around you, if you are living in a consciousness not enough, there is something seriously wrong with your being. Work on that first. Work on that first. Please understand, work on that first, altering the understandings you have about wealth is a very important thing you need for creating and celebrating wealth. Please understand, grabbing is completely wrong. I am not teaching grabbing. I am teaching creating, to keep the public attention diverted. I am not asking you to become grabbers. No. Creators are totally different from grabbers. Here I am asking you to become a creator. Wealth is not just money and gold alone. It is a space in which you feel abundance. I am not saying without money and gold start feeling abundance. Have enough and have the space enough, both. Have enough, have the space enough, have both. Unfortunately, either you try to just have the space enough or have enough, and you are stuck. Having enough and having the space enough. What do I mean exactly by by the word creating wealthy consciousness? See, here I am giving you a word, wealth consciousness. I mean few things. First, removing the self-contradicting desires of your inner space. Morning you feel like you want to work, make $1 billion and become a big boss of a company. Evening you feel like dropping everything and going and lying down in a beach and having vacation. See, one side, you enjoy the busy life. The other side, your mind just want to get rid of everything. This constant oscillation, not having clarity, not having stability, continuously not having stability makes you lose faith on you. You can see many times when you make decisions, you yourself feel, oh, I'll make this decision, but after 2 days I myself may repent. Why unnecessarily? Wait, let's wait. First step we are going to do is removing conflicting, contradicting, complicating desires of your mind. Please understand, conflicting means morning you want to do one thing, evening you want to do something completely opposite. That is conflict. Second, contradicting. Even in one statement you contradict yourself. I have seen sometimes people come and tell me, my headache should get cured. The more and more number of times you tell, my headache should get cured, my headache should get cured, you are strengthening your headache inside. Because any word repeated more and more number of times inside is going to become strong inside. When you say more and more number of times, my headache should get cured, my headache should get cured, I should get rid of headache, what happens? Headache becomes more stronger in you. More number of times you remember the headache. Many times you strengthen your enemy inside you by repeating him in you. Understand, this is only contradiction. Conflict means feeling different things at different time, not having clarity. Contradiction means at the same time giving life to both energies. Like you heard the story of Wali. Wali had a boon. Whoever stands in front of him, he will have half of their power. Same way, when you say I should get rid of my headache, you already gave half power to headache. Instead, you should be repeating the word, I should become healthy. Even the words you utter inside, the visualizations you have inside, the verbalizations you have inside should be in tune, in positive tone, not be self-contradicting. If you constantly say, I should be out of poverty, you are strengthening poverty by constantly remembering it. These are the contradicting desires. Third, complication. Complication means you don't even know why you are doing it. You just complicate things. Further, I don't need to give any example. You just look from your morning. You will have at least 2 examples. You just complicate things. You know, if you talk to your spouse about this problem now, it will be solved. But you think, why should I talk to him? Let him first smile at me. What is the hurry now? I'll talk day after tomorrow. Complicating things which can be easily sorted out. Many of your desires, your movements, your actions, you complicate. Because you have a prejudice, it cannot be solved. All of you understand? How you relate with yourself. Conflicting, contradicting, complicating the desires. I also wanted you to understand how you relate with yourself. In two ways you relate with yourself. First, the lower identity or the lower ideas you carry about you, or the higher identity, higher ideas you carry about you. If I have to give an example, very small things sometimes you feel, no, I cannot walk 3 floors and go to my office. So I don't want that job. Sometimes very small things, you complicate it so much and you really believe it is a big problem. I am giving you one example. But look inside. You will see hundreds of examples where such a small thing, because of the lower ideas you carry about you, and same way sometimes you carry very high ideas about you, and very difficult things, very difficult for others, you finish it so easily because the ideas you carry about you. Now first I want you to work, I'll give you a small exercise to work on the ideas you carry about you, so that I'll lead you to the next level of conflicting, contradicting, complicating desires. You felt very low and unhappy. Describe the incident and write down the experience you had about yourself. Contemplate and write down the lowest ideas you carry about you. I am not capable, I am not good enough, I am a failure, whatever you are carrying. Second, recollect the first incident in your life when you had the first idea about money. What were your first thoughts and engrams about money? Third, scan your whole life and identify if you had incidents in your life where you are left incomplete in aspect of money. Means feeling unfulfilled because of money. Write down the wounds that got created in you and in your relationships because of money. Answer these 3 questions. I will make you understand conflicting, contradicting, complicating desires, and how the higher identity, lower identity you carry. It is almost like a bypass surgery. Please, I will give you the example. When I say write down any wounds that got created in you in your relationship because of money, somebody asked you money, you did not give and the relationship is broken. Or you gave money to somebody and they did not return it, the relationship is broken. Or you asked money, they did not give and the relationship is broken. Mention all those, record all that. Then I will give you the deeper insights. First step, please understand. Stand, legs wide apart, at least 2 feet gap between the legs. Let me completely give the instruction, then you can do. Inhale as slowly as possible. When you finished inhaling, hold as long as possible. Then exhale as slowly as possible. After completely exhaling, hold as long as possible your lungs empty. Inhaling as slowly as possible, holding as long as possible, exhaling as slowly as possible, holding the lungs empty as long as possible. All 4 actions slowly as long as possible. This is the first step. If you already have any heart problems, like blood pressure, any other heart conditions, please don't do this Kriya. Others can do. This is the first process. Please start. I will guide you further in every level. Legs wide apart. 2 feet. This Kriya is to break the patterns of suffering of money in you. Any pain, suffering related to money, the patterns will be broken. The Kriya, use both the hands, not only one hand, use both the hands. Use both the thumbs. First inhale as slowly as possible. Hold as long as possible. Exhale as slowly as possible. Hold the lungs empty without inhaling as long as possible. Do this continuously. Repeat the same cycle continuously. Intensely awakened. Let the energy fill you all. Let all the conflicting, contradicting, complicating desire patterns be destroyed in you all. Let you all create wealthy consciousness, rich inner space. Bring your awareness to the breath. Relax completely in unclutched space, not connecting the thoughts and emotions flowing in you and giving life to it is unclutching.